Have you heard people say making the first $100,000 is so hard? Well, it's true, but what they don't tell you is making the next $100,000 is so easy. But wait, why is it so difficult to break through that initial barrier? Well, my friend, we're about to blow the lid off this age-old financial mystery. Welcome to The Golden Touch, and in this video, we're going to reveal the shocking secrets that only the top 1% of financial wizards know. Many of us want to run towards the direction that can somehow increase our fortune, but getting rich is a difficult and drawn-out process. A dwindling road with lots of twists, turns, and speed bumps, if you will. Well, the first $100,000 is the toughest to accumulate, and that's according to billionaire investor and vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, Charlie Munger. All experts in the field will tell you that they completely agree with him. And that's because when you first start investing, it's challenging to invest your hard-earned cash in the stock market. You worry that it's a dangerous investment and that you could lose everything. But people soon realize that they have to take certain risks in order to increase their riches. You see, getting started in investing is one of the hardest challenges. Take it from us, the best time to start investing is now. Many people put off investing until they have more money. And sure, thinking about building up a huge portfolio when you're first starting out can be intimidating. However, after you reach that $100,000 threshold, things usually start to get simpler. But how? Well, the power of compound interest is what determines everything. As your investments increase, the profits you receive start to compound, eventually producing even higher returns. When you're first starting out, this can make a significant impact because you have to put in a lot of effort to make those initial investments and get them to start growing. Think about this, investing $5,000 and receiving a 10% return after a year. That might not seem like much since it's only $500, right? But that same 10% return converts into $10,000 when you have $100,000 invested. And after you reach the $1 million threshold, a 10% return results in enormous earnings of $100,000. That's a lot of cash. You'll begin to feel more at ease taking risks and attempting new things as your portfolio expands. And sure, you don't just have $100,000 lying around to invest. You can start looking for ways to increase your income so that you can invest more money. Alternatively, you can look for higher yields to help your money grow even quicker. The important thing is to maintain investing and let your money work for you, regardless of your strategy. Trust us, you'll have more possibilities than you ever imagined when you have $100,000 saved up. You can decide to take a chance and launch your own company or make a real estate investment. There are countless options, and having that money saved will provide you with a sense of security and peace of mind, even if you don't wish to take any significant risks. But first, let's get into the details of making those initial numbers. If you're saving money outside of a retirement account, your first $100,000 is often after-tax money as well. So, depending on your tax bracket, you might be looking to use after-tax money from your salary after all the deductions, which slows down the process. Honestly, you'll never reach $100,000 if you don't set up a budget and manage your finances. The first stage is to consistently save money week after week with discipline and focus, which you can only do by controlling your own finances. If you can save $10,000 a year compared to if you can save $5,000 a year, you'll reach a six-figure account twice as quickly. Make the most of your economic potential, folks. Enjoying the video so far? Make sure to give us a like and subscribe for more money-making tips. Also, at this point, we want to say that even though Charlie Munger's $100,000 figure is rather arbitrary, the underlying idea should be obvious. It's simpler to grow a large sum of money than a little sum of money. Take the stock market's historical average growth rate as an example. The S&P 500 index's value typically doubles every 7 years or so. So, if you invest $1,000, for example, you can anticipate that your money will be worth $2,000 after 7 years, and that will be worth about $4,000 after another 7 years. But if you start with $100,000, you can expect it to become over $200,000 in 7 years and a staggering $400,000 in another 7 years. So it's obviously better to have the most starting capital available because the same principle always holds true. Investments double approximately every 7 years, regardless of the initial dollar amount. Now, we can also look at it in terms of how long it actually takes to earn each additional $100,000. Say, if it took you 15 years to accumulate $100,000, it should only take another 7 to reach the next $100,000, right? Then, the following $100,000 should take just 3.5 more years. You get the point? The idea should be clear. The time it takes to earn the same amount of money tends to reduce as your assets rise, even with the fuzziness of that time frame due to unanticipated ups and downs of the stock market over time. Which is why it's crucial to work hard to invest that first sizable sum of money. It just becomes simpler from there. For many people, saving your first $100,000 is a longer-term goal that necessitates some discipline rather than necessarily being a short-term objective. There can be a variety of reasons why you want to save $100,000, but you must first develop your intention to get there. So the first thing you need, really, is the right mindset. It can be helpful to have a specific goal in mind, but you also need to know how to make a strategy to get there and stick to it. Now would be a good time to start budgeting if you're the type of person who doesn't usually keep track of your expenses. Plus, extra money can always be saved by cutting back on your daily Starbies or by switching public transportation a few days a week instead of driving. There's all sorts of things you can do to generate extra cash, including passive income and side gigs. Also, know that the road to your first $100,000 will be easier if you recognize that these are tiny sacrifices made along the way to your goals. That'll make a massive difference. Some people find that downsizing to a smaller home or switching to a more fuel-efficient car can make all the difference. Or if you're renting a large space, consider downsizing to save money. One way to increase your savings is to minimize the amount of interest paid. Prioritizing debt reduction is crucial in achieving this. If you have student loans, it's wise to aim to pay them off before considering investing or upgrading your lifestyle. In fact, you should review your loan details to determine how long it will take to settle them. To reduce your debt burden, you may choose to utilize your savings or fixed deposits. Plus, you could use any bonus or dividend to prepay debts and lower your interest payments. Keep in mind that taking risks is a part of the journey towards accumulating $100,000, just like any investment. High-risk investments could provide larger returns, but you should also consider the risk-reward ratio. Initial public offerings, emerging penny stocks, and industries like technology can produce significant returns quickly. High-grade corporate bonds, on the other hand, can also produce consistent and substantial returns, so take your pick. And hey, once you have $100,000, you should strive to expand it steadily while also protecting it from significant losses. Never go for risks that could result in huge losses, and whatever you do, don't gamble on things with little worth or thrill. Instead, look for capital returns, which are part of any investment or trading strategy that has a defined advantage that's successful over the longer term. Oh, you can also consider investing in firms with strong fundamentals at reasonable prices, like dividend-paying stocks, stock index ETFs, trend trading tactics, etc. So in a nutshell, sure, it's difficult to build up the first $100,000, but once you have, things usually get simpler. Your money will increase rapidly over time thanks to the strong force of compound interest. Also, you'll have more opportunities and choices than ever before if you have that money saved up. Even if it's not always simple to begin investing, take that first step. It'll help you succeed financially and create the life of your dreams with just a little hard work. You'll thank yourself for it. Let us know in the comments how you'll be working towards your first $100,000. We'll see you in the next video.